There is no question that the Mercedes CLA compact sedan has been a huge hit. There's back orders at dealerships all across the country as people are waiting to get their hands on that very inexpensive Mercedes-Benz. They've taken that same platform and delivered this, the GLA. It's their very first sort of subcompact SUV slash crossover to compete with Audi's A3, which is coming this summer, and also the existing X1 from BMW. Well, I'm here in the south of Spain. We actually arrived in Malaga, Spain, got to drive along the Costa del Sol and here into Granada with the beautiful mountains in the background to drive, first of all, the GLA 45 AMG. It's the higher performance version. There's also the 250, and I encourage you to watch the video I've done of that vehicle as well, and also watch the CLA review that I've done. So what makes the GLA 45 AMG stand out over the regular 250 GLA? Well, it's got more aggressive pieces on it. First and foremost, you get the bi-xenon headlights. They're standard on the 45 AMG. They're optional on the 250. You get the more aggressive look in the front grille, bigger wheels, and around the back there's a little bit more decoration as well. The rear lights also have LED that goes all the way around the rear lights and make it look a little fancier than the base model, the 250 GLA. This is really a fun vehicle. It's all about performance. It's all about a stance on the road that really makes it look good. I actually like the way this looks better than the CLA. The CLA has the same sort of silhouette as the CLS four-door sedan. This one looks a little bit more masculine. It's got a nice stance. Even though the roof looks low, there is plenty of headroom on the inside. So we're here in Spain to test drive the GLA, and I'll tell you what I think. The first thing you notice when you get in the CLA is how cropped the roof is. You really feel that you're sitting low and the roof isn't far from your head. With this GLA, obviously it's got more of an SUV profile. They've raised that up a little bit, and that really benefits the cabin on the inside. Other than that, everything is the same in here as the CLA. You've got the same sort of aggressive looking fashion-forward dashboard with the large screen. It looks like it's stuck onto the dash. Now, there's two camps of this. Some people like this iPad application look, and some people like it to be more integrated into the dash. Audi is taking a different approach. There's slides into the dash. This one, it's fixed on there, and it's not exactly my cup of tea, but some people like it. The seats are wonderfully supportive with the Recaros in this AMG. Nice big fat steering wheel. It's got a shifter here that's similar to the high performance Mercedes-Benz cars, as are the aero vents here. The back seat also benefits from this profile in the GLA. If you have a look at my video of the CLA, you can see an adult sitting back there, can't even really see out the side window. With this one, you can actually look out, you have more headroom, and it feels more open and spacious, especially with the big panoramic roof. So overall, I think that the GLA might be a better everyday vehicle, especially if you have a family, than the CLA. And it really is a sporty application of this vehicle. Now, when I first got in this CLA 45 AMG, I could tell right away it was different than the CLA 45 AMG. So I went and talked to the engineers and asked them, what are the differences between the sedan and the GLA? And what they said to me is that the suspension is not as firm as the CLA. And that's one of the big differences, and one I actually like. Now the CLA, if you go and watch my review, I found the suspension really quite crashy over city bumpy conditions. But in this application, with a bigger, slightly taller and heavier vehicle, with the suspension not being as firm, it actually plays into the way the car looks and feels. It's got that sort of SUV crossover look, and it feels like that. And a lot of people will want that sort of slightly trucky feel, but it doesn't feel like it's overpowering in any way. It actually feels stuck to the road. You point it where you want to go, and it gets you there. Now, the engine driving the 45 AMG is the same one that's used in the sedan. 2-liter turbocharged, 355 horsepower, 332 foot-pounds of torque. And it's doing a fantastic job of moving this new crossover around. And one of the things I like, and I asked again, why does it feel different than the sedan, is the power out of the corners and the torque. And it could come down to the fact that we're in Europe and we're driving on much better fuel than we get in North America. The 7-speed transmission is tuned by AMG to be crisper, and same with the all-wheel drive system. There's actually a way that this all-wheel drive system can engage and disengage for better fuel economy, so using front wheel or all-wheel drive 45, depending on the conditions, but this system is being tuned yet again by AMG to help, obviously, with cornering. And you get up to 50% of the traction to the rear wheels, which is also attractive for Canadians driving in our winter conditions. So overall, it's a fabulous vehicle. I love the power from the engine, and I think it works better in this crossover application than it does in the sedan. Wonderful sound from the engine. They also tune that down a little bit compared to the CLA, but thoroughly enjoying this. If you go and watch my review again of the CLA, you notice that I like the 250 better. With this 45 and the GLA, it's a lot of fun. I like this GLA 45 AMG better than the CLA 45 AMG. First and foremost, the suspension isn't as crashy, and even though it's tight and feels firm on the road, it has a little bit of that SUV feel that people actually want in a crossover slash SUV. The engine is fantastic. We have obviously European fuel, which is a higher grade than we get in North America. It's just been pulling out of the corners. The gearbox is fantastic. It does everything you want. You can throw it around with absolute confidence, and it's a blast to drive. Now, prices have not been announced yet for Canada, but if you look at the price of the CLA 45 AMG, it's right around $50,000, and I'm sure the GLA is going to have a small price premium over the sedan. So probably, in my estimation, it's going to be over 50 grand to get one of these vehicles. But it's a lot of fun. There's lots of competition now in this class of vehicle, but this one definitely has presence.